afternoon. Okay. Let me just get right to it. But basically, before I do, let me just stress that agriculture is really the most important sector, I think, to everybody in here, because everybody has to eat, isn't it? Yes. So we depend on agriculture to get our food. We do the work, we do the science in order to get you the food that you need. Okay. Right, let me start with shock therapy. This is some of the statistics that have been developed by the African Development Bank as far as the status of food security is concerned in this continent. So I'll just emphasize the last bit. I'm sure that the eye moves faster with the slide, so I'm sure you've read the rest of the slide, but let me emphasize the last point, that Africa's farm yields are low, with the agriculture sector being the least productive in the world. That's a shocking part, is that we could actually do more in terms of boosting our productivity than currently the case. So the key arguments that I would present in this paper is that there is a clear demand for more food than currently produced. Then the next one is that the recent estimates suggest that this continent has the potential to produce more than we are actually doing. So what I want to then suggest is that we need to find ways, farming systems that are sustainable, that are inclusive, and that support the increased access to food for the poor in order to meet the world's future food needs. So this is not me, by the way, it's FAO, but what the last bullet is what then I want to link with what I've just said. The fact that research and development could develop these farming systems, the farming systems that are required to help the continent to feed itself. So this is two ways by which this could be done. The first one is that there could be education, meaning that producing the required caliber of scientists that could do the work that's required. But also training in terms of ensuring that we have the skills and the know-how to produce that food that is required. However, and sadly, there's a lack of young people with the right kind of skills entering into the industry. At university, young people would rather go for the hard science because, as I was saying, that the perception that is accorded to agriculture is that it's a dirty industry. Nobody really wants to go there. So that's the issue that we're having. So in terms of who is the Agricultural Research Council, we are, in terms of where our head office is, we directly across the How train station. So that's the building that's in the corner there. That's ARC, corner of Grosvenor and Park Street. So now you know who we are and what we do. Right. So our mandate is research and development and technology transfer. And we were established through the Agricultural Research Act and report as the principal agricultural research institution in the country. I know that there's a whole lot of other bodies that do agricultural research, but as far as the primary mandate is concerned from the Act legislative mandate, it's the ARC that has that. So to that effect, we belong to the Department of Agriculture, and obviously that implies that we are a parastatal with the government paying our operational costs. For the rest of the work that we do, we need to engage and partner with the industry to fund our research. So I've already said what we do as far as the research, technology development, and transfer is concerned. So training and capacity building helps the organization to discharge its technology transfer mandate. This is where we are located. The majority of our institutes, as you can see, are here in Pretoria. But we also do have institutes at Rustenburg, Nelspruit, Potchefstroom, Bethlehem, and Stellenbosch. Stellenbosch is where we have our wine, we do work in deciduous fruits as well as in the viticulture industry, producing wine. Right? You may be asking yourself, okay, you've told us who with the ARC, what you do, and so what. So as far as the technology transfer mandate is concerned, I would just like to share with you this afternoon what work we do and the work that's entailed within that function. The first bullet point is talking about how education and training is changing before our very eyes, and as such, we need to make sure that we gain the skills and the know-how. You would remember the problem that I talked about in the first slide about food insecurity. So basically, the reason why the ARC does work in terms of skills development and transfer, or rather an information dissemination, it's because we need to help this country in particular, although our work also extends beyond the South African border. But we need the ability to, meaning insight and capacity to, one, decide on the best ways of growing food, two, to tend up in the best way possible animals, then three, to optimize on the performance of the natural resources that the country has, and four, to add value to the raw products, raw agricultural products that are being produced. So the value of research and development, if we consider these 4 bullet points that I've said, the value of research and development as a driver of knowledge is important in terms of propelling the economic growth and innovation. Just to share with you, in terms of the few initiatives, as Peter was saying, is that we conduct training to enable the organization to impart knowledge and information to a wide spectrum of users of the agricultural research and development output. One of these interventions we undertake is training. So I'll talk more as far as training is concerned. We are accredited by the Agricultural Sector Education and Training Authority, and I took the liberty of including our certificate here, but besides the accredited courses, we also offer non-accredited courses. And through these programs, both accredited and non-accredited, we cover a wide sector of the society, the agricultural sector in particular. We train farmers, we train extension officials, we train development practitioners, we train lecturers from various universities, subject matter specialists from schools, as well as processors. For example, people do the value addition aspects of the raw product. So we develop the capacities and competencies that are required in the modern agricultural sector. So we would have courses in animal production, plant production. Even within those two production sectors that I've mentioned, there will be training that is specifically targeted to whatever the client wants. If a client wants training on poultry production, we would provide that. On small stock, dairy, beef, we would provide such training. In the same token, even with vegetable production, we would actually tailor it to what the client is looking for. Our emphasis really is on imparting the skills that would enable one to engage successfully up to marketing whatever product we've trained them on. So we also invest in strengthening our own human capital for excellence in agricultural research and development. I've already talked about our clientele really, so I'll just skip right past this slide. Moving on with more of our initiatives, I have 2 scientists here that we are very proud of that I wanted to just show in terms of what our work entails. We have here Professor Lakine Tambale. Last year, he received the 2014 Biotech Fundi Award for his innovative work that he does through the assisted reproduction technology, where he engages in embryo transfer, artificial insemination, just to help to improve the livestock gene that could be, to ensure that each farmer that we engage with have good quality livestock. But also even Dr. Thobela Nkukwana, she does innovative work as far as the nutrition, boosting the nutritional aspect of the poultry feeding. She's a poultry nutritionist, by the way. So these two young scientists that I've mentioned, they work with a lot of young people. And these young people are recruited through what we call the professional development program. Right now, as I am speaking, we have over 300 people of these young people. We recruit 100 people annually, the young people annually. And they would be like a normal student. They would be enrolling with whatever university that they are enrolling with. But over and above the training that they get from university, being attached to us means that they get first-hand exposure to the science that we develop. Two, they will be mentored in terms of the professional undertaking. What is needed as far as if you're a genetist, you're an animal genetist, what does that entail? They'll be learning about professional etiquette, how to conduct their work, so that by the time that they finish the program, they are ready to be employed. The good thing with this program is that we actually employ 60% of the professional, these students that will be under the program, and the rest of the 40% are absorbed by the industry. This is just one of our programs that we undertake, which is called Agricultural Research for Development Program, which includes the researchers, lecturers, extension officials. This is just, we conducted an evaluation, and these are the topics, by the way: soft skills on team management, communication, negotiation, skills that are very important and that they do not get through their university training. So we take young people who are new in lecturing, who are new as researchers, and we take them through this program. Another one, I talked about how we conduct training for farmers and such. We have over 100 short learning programs as well as skills programs that are from NQF level 1 up to 4, ranging from different short-term periods. All these learning programs are designed and developed internally by the ARC's researchers in collaboration with corporate training and extension unit. That's where I'm from. And the design of this program, it includes both theoretical and practical training. So far, just to give you a glimpse, ladies and gentlemen, in terms of who do we reach through these courses of ours. I provided data for the past 3 years in terms of from our annual reports, which you can visit our website in case you want to learn more. But basically, this is the number of people that we have actually reached in the sector. Per year, we ensure that we train all these farmers. I'm talking about farmers and processors in this case. This is the last slide, actually. I've already said about how emphasis is on skills development. So you would see I developed a collage for you, ladies and gentlemen, just so you can have a glimpse of what training is entailed. So rather than having someone produce such maize, deformed and so forth, we actually have a project that helps farmers to develop seed maize that actually gets packaged and sold, in the industry. It's open pollinated varieties of maize that are bound, and one can actually generate, unlike the hybrids, can get to generate maize season for season, so that they don't have to worry about where they're going to get their next stock. Then this is our vet here, in which she had a course that was training farmers on good animal health management and control. This is our own researchers here who are being trained on how to facilitate the assessor course, the facilitator course, moderator course. We do training on that. I think this is the last slide. Just if I can just say that our major issue really is that because our mandate is research, there's hardly money that is diverted towards training. So the researchers who manage to do training, they really struggle to get the financial resources that they need to conduct the training. This is specifically the issue when one talks about accredited training. So the last one is that, so what I wanted to challenge, if there are people from government, is that there should be better utilization of parastatals, such as ourselves, to conduct training for business, particularly because government gives us the resources to be who we are. So they need to then utilize us more to undertake functions such as training.
Wonderful, thank you.
Thank you.
So